this week's installment. When she's not down at the Fight Club, this actress can be found hanging around a chocolate factory with Charlie, or looking for a room review where she can see Howard's End. Hopefully we're not left smelling a bottom farter after listening to Helena Bonham Carter on tonight's Hollywood Swingers.
That professional introduction. That professional introduction means it's time for our favourite segment of the show, Hollywood Swingers, where we celebrate those Hollywood movie stars who've swung into music. This week it is Helena Bonham Carter. Tell me about her, Paul.
Helena Bonham Carter, born the 26th of May 1966, it was a Thursday, in London, England, to Father Raymond, who was a merchant banker, and that's not a euphemism, and Mother Elena, who we'll talk about a wee bit later.
Okay.
Her extended family reads like a who's who of worldwide diplomats, royalty, politicians.
Why is nobody calling her a Nepo baby?
She has a famous Spanish diplomat for a grandfather,
Ooh.
a French baroness for a grandmother. The other grandmother was a British baroness, and her great-grandfather was former British Prime Minister H.H. Asquith. She's even a distant relative of Florence Nightingale.
Do you know that the middle H in Asquith's name stands for happy? Henry Happy Asquith.
That's quite good. Now, whilst her childhood might seem like a privileged one from the outside, the young Bonham Carter had to shoulder a lot from a young age. When she was 5, her mother had a serious nervous breakdown,
Oofed.
with the youngster having to support her for over 3 years.
Yeah.
Her mother did eventually recover and subsequently became a psychotherapist herself because of all the therapy that she'd done. She got an interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Helena Bonham Carter pays her mum to read all of her scripts to give her a dossier on the characters' mindsets and motivations.
Which she's that lazy, she can't just read a script and work out what the motivation is.
She
I mean, you're an actor.
right,
It's not that
to skip
hard a
ahead
job.
to the acting career, but apparently she's like has big, massive dossiers that she makes up for all of the characters that she plays.
You just said her mum makes them up for
No,
her.
her mum does the psychoanalyst bit, but
Okay.
you know, Bonham Carter does all of the research.
Sure. Okay.
That's not nice. 5 years after her mother recovered, her father was paralysed after complications following an operation. And with her brothers away at college, she had to help her mother out at home.
Yeah.
So, wanting to be an actress, but having no formal training, the youngster won a national writing contest when she was 13. And she used the money to pay for an entry into the Actors Spotlight directory. So instead of actually going the actual route of being an actor,
Uh-huh.
or training to be an actor, she just made enough money to get herself an entry into the big book of actors.
I'm so deeply confused. Is she poor or rich? Like, why did she have to win a writing competition? I can pay for my Spotlight entry. It's not that expensive, Paul.
Maybe she's just independent. She wanted to do it herself.
Sure. Okay.
So her first acting gig was a TV commercial at the age of 16. I couldn't find out what for.
Let's guess. Flakes.
Not at 16.
Oh, I don't know then.
Frosties.
Frosties, maybe.
And then she made her TV debut in an adaptation of a children's novel called A Pattern of Roses.
Ooh.
Her film debut was a lead role in the 1985 Merchant Ivory film A Room with a View, which was a massive box office hit.
Yeah.
Was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. Not bad for your film debut that you made at the age of 18.
Yeah. No, it's
That's
great.
mental.
Have you seen Room with a View?
No.
I love all of those.
I don't like Merchant Ivory films. I don't understand them.
No.
I'm not saying that they're rubbish. They're just not for me.
I really like them. I think it was a weird time in British history when we were kind of packaging and selling our history to foreigners in a very fake
still
way
do it.
that lasts to this day. But it's
Yeah.
kind of the start of that period drama, Downton Abbey, look at us
We stopped.
thing.
We were very fond of the old kitchen sink drama,
Yeah.
and then we decided to just let's sell poshness to the world.
Well, it directly correlates with the wealth of the population. So when there's a big boom in economics, people want to watch aspirational stuff. They want to watch people who are rich. And when there's a dip in economics, people want to watch things like Ovida's in Pet or The Boys from the Black Stuff. And it swings and roundabouts. I did a whole dissertation on this.
Was it you or was it Helena Bonham Carter's mum that did it for you? Anyway, the actress would
Still had
very
to pay
soon
her.
be typecast in a host of costume dramas,
Yes.
which would see her called the likes of a Corset Queen and an English Rose, including the lead in 1986 Lady Jane. She was in 1990's Mel Gibson adaptation of Hamlet, and most famously, she starred alongside Emma Thompson in the 1992 adaptation of Howard's End, which was another box office hit, and it got 9 Academy Award nominations.
I always get Howard's End and the other. Is that the one with the boy
Howard's
with the
Way?
teddy bear? Is that the one with the boy and the teddy bear?
I have no idea. I don't watch these.
And they wear
things.
motors. I think it
I think
is.
that's all of them. 1994, though, saw Bonham Carter be saddled with another image in the tabloids. After filming under the directorship of Kenneth Branagh in the 1994 adaptation of Frankenstein, the two started an affair, despite Kenneth Branagh being married at the time to her former co-star Emma Thompson.
I couldn't remember why I didn't like her, Paul, but you told me something ages ago that made me dislike her, and now I remember what it is.
Not only did the affair see the pair become newspaper fodder for a number of years, they were in the paper almost every day.
Yeah.
The whole ordeal was the basis for Emma Thompson's affair storyline in the film Love Actually. So thanks for that, Kenneth and Helena. Thanks a bunch.
Is that true?
Yes.
So literally our least favourite plotline of our least favourite film.
Was due to those two.
Holy mackerel. That's insane.
Anyway, continuing to star in a number of costume dramas and romantic British movies, including a Golden Globe and Oscar-nominated part in 1997's The Wings of the Dove. Bonham Carter would try to break out of this mould with her role as Marla Singer, the chain-smoking, foul-mouthed gothic love interest to Ed Norton in 1999's Fight Club.
Yeah.
And that...
Do you know that Brad Pitt's a ghost in that film?
Don't give it away. What if somebody's never seen it?
Well, that's a lie.
He's not a
so
ghost,
it wouldn't
he's a
make it
fiction-
seem that you're giving it away.
And perhaps it was this gothic portrayal that brought her to the attention of film director Tim Burton. After being cast as an ape in the director's terrible 2001 remake of Planet of the Apes, seriously, it's atrocious. She would subsequently begin a relationship with Burton, having been left by Branagh in 1999. First rule...
What?
Not a Fight Club, but first rule of taking somebody's man, never trust a cheater.
Never try a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Always a cheater. Now, I don't know if he actually cheated on her, but you still don't trust him. Despite being married, though, and having 2 kids,
Yeah.
this is Burton and Bonham Carter. The two never formally lived with each other. Instead, Tim Burton bought the house next to hers, and they just had one each.
Oh, you know that's something I'm jealous of. Like,
Yeah.
that's an ideal situation. You meet a guy, you kind of get on, you've got a similar aesthetic, you've got a similar vibe, but living with that guy is going to be too much stress. So you do an ant and deck and you buy houses next to each other. Love it.
Yeah. Now, as well as being kind of typecast as the Merchant Ivory actress, she was now also being typecast as the quirky gothic actress. And she starred in a number of her husband's films, the likes of like Big Fish. She was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which was rubbish. She was in The Corpse Bride. She was in Sweeney Todd. She would also go on to even greater fame with a whole new generation after playing the villainous Bellatrix Lestrange
Yeah.
in 4 films of the Harry Potter series.
Uh-huh.
And you don't really like the films,
No. Never. I think I've watched
but
3.
she's a good choice for that.
All of the adults are fine actors in it. They're all, you know, you've got some of the best actors in British cinema in the Harry Potter films. It's the little, hello, my name is this, and I'm going to talk in this voice for the entire film.
What if they get some sort of broomstick that they ride on? What does that sound like?
It's a Nimbus 2000. It's the fastest broom yet.
2010.
You've got a bit of dirt on your nose. Did you know?
2010 was a landmark. I'm just going to power through. Landmark year, 3 major hits, including one of the Harry Potters, which made almost $1 billion. Alice in Wonderland with her then hubby Tim Burton,
Yeah.
which made just over $1 billion. And then she went back to the old costume dramas. She played Queen Elizabeth in The King's Speech, which made nearly $500 million. on a budget of under $10 million, as well as winning the actress her first BAFTA and another Oscar nomination. That's some year. And since then, she's essentially one of the go-to establishment British actresses, if she wasn't long already before then.
Talk about the thing she said.
Crack on.
So she did this interview, right, where she said, if you're not pretty or you're working class, it's a lot easier in this industry. Essentially saying it was really hard for her because she was pretty and upper class. And Kathy Burke called it a very choice word.
You admitted to me before air when I told you who the swinger was, you were like, maybe out of jealousy, but you're like, I don't like this woman.
Well, Burke said, as a lifelong member of the non-pretty working classes, I would like to say to Helena Bonham Carter, shut up. You blank. And Kathy Burke literally wrote in to a newspaper to address Helena Bonham Carter's column. But that's the vibe I get from her, is she lives a very privileged life that's still like, oh, but it has been quite hard. Tim keeps stealing my tea bags. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got
She says it as if she gets no work, and yet she was Princess Margaret in The Crown. She was in that female Ocean spin-off film, Ocean's 8.
All the Harry Potter films
All
as
the Harry
Bellatrix
Potter
Lestrange.
films. She was even in the live-action reimagining of Cinderella, which was directed
Alice.
by her ex, Kenneth Branagh, which sounds awkward, but apparently her beef with all involved, including Emma Thompson, has been squashed.
Oh, I'm so glad that they've squashed their beefs.
Blood under the water, as Thompson said, which sounds really sincere and heartfelt, doesn't it? Yes, it's all blood under the bridge.
Blood under the bridge. Well, there we go. That's more fun than poo sticks.
Out to tonight's song. And with a cover of a Joni Mitchell classic, I hope you won't take a single-minded view to this performance.
Hold on. Where is this from?
This was from a Children in Need album where many stars did covers of songs.
So we're not getting her in our musical role?
Well, what one did you want?
She was in the Sweeney,
She was in Sweeney Todd.
She was in Les Miserables.
But a lot of that's with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Okay.
So I don't think it's fair.
No, you're right.
Because a lot of the performances are like duets with other famous people, which muddies the water a bit. Whereas with this cover of the Joni Mitchell classic, I hope you see it from both sides now.
I'm going to keep my mind open, Paul, and I'm not going to let
I've already said the last line, which included the title of the song, and you're continuing what you said
both sides now. Both sides now. Because I think that I'll see it from both sides.
Rose and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons at dunes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, but still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. But now our friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads and they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, but still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
That was... No, we're still going to listen to Storms. That was Helena Bonham Carter with Clouds at All. Both sides now. That was our Hollywood Swinger this week. Here on the Ashley Storrie Show, we grade our Hollywood Swingers on a scale of 1 to 100 Kenny Rogers roasters. Kenny Roger being the best and the original Hollywood Swinger. Paul, I'll come to you first. How many Kenny Rogers roasters are you giving to Helena Bonham Carter?
It was definitely a bit of a bottom farter. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good, and it sounded a bit auto-tuney, didn't it?
Just posh talking through a song.
Look, we've heard that song so many times, so many different ways. The boy who sang Walking in the Air, what's his name? Alec Jones. His daughter sang it in Coda. Stunning, phenomenal. Joni Mitchell singing it, even when she's elderly and sat in her wee chair on the stage. Stunning, beautiful. That was just... It just felt empty and hollow. I didn't enjoy it. How many Kenny Rogers roasters did you give it?
30.
Oh, it's generous.
It wasn't like absolutely horrendous. It just wasn't good.
I didn't enjoy it at all. I'm giving it 3, and there's no bias in that whatsoever.
I don't know about that.
And I can rely on the fact that Kate from Sunny Open has said a bit painful on the ears, so a 4 from me. So not just me who thinks it was
a 4 level.
Get in touch via text. But you know how when something's really bad, but at least it's enjoyable and it's fun and it's rubbish? That didn't even have that. That was just meh.
That's like if
Which
someone,
is worse than being bad.
if someone took all the components of bread but made you eat them separately with unbaked.
Yes.
That was that.
That was eating
It's
raw
like,
flour with a spoon.
Have some wheat. Just eat this wheat.
Get in touch via text at 0295. Let us know your score for Helena Bonham Carter's performance in this week's Hollywood Swinger. Or you can email us. What's the email, Paul?
ashleystoryShow@bbc.co.uk.
Or you can WhatsApp us on 0808 592 9500.
I think that'd be better if you do the text, throw to me for the emails, I throw to you for the WhatsApp.
Uh-huh.
I just flow better, Ashley.
Just flow better. Right, let's have another song. It's Bronski Beat. It's a palate cleanser with Small Town Boy.